Hey, what's up, everyone? Today we're diving into three of the most puzzling and heart-wrenching missing person cases that need to be solved. These are stories of people who vanished without a trace, leaving behind devastated families, unanswered questions, and haunting mysteries that continue to baffle investigators. With each case, we'll explore the circumstances surrounding their disappearances, the clues left behind, and why it's more important than ever to keep these cases alive. Could you hold the key to solving one of them? Let's get started.
Gather round, all you seekers of the night. Welcome to Patrick's Dark Corner.
Number 3. Clea Shindra Hall. In 1994, Clea Shindra, or Clea as she was known to her family and friends, was an 18-year-old girl about to graduate high school as class valedictorian. She had an internship lined up that summer in Boston at a pediatrician's office before she would go to Tennessee State University's pre-med program in the fall. Clea loved kids and couldn't wait to meet her goal of becoming a pediatrician. On May 9th of 1994, Clea's mom, Laurel, drove her to her part-time job at Dr. Larry Amos's house, where she did clerical work for him. Clea called home at 8 to check to see if she had any messages on her family's answering machine, which she didn't. Clea promised Laurel she would call when she finished her shift. After the call, Laurel started to read a book and fell asleep. Laurel remembered having a vivid dream of Clea tied up in Dr. Amos' house crying out for her help. At 11 p.m., Clea's father, Willie, came home and woke Laurel up, wondering where Clea was. Laurel called Dr. Amos's home office to see if Clea was there. He answered on the first ring. He said he had heard Clea leave the house, but he didn't see who she left with, if anyone. He said her timesheet showed that she had clocked out at 8:30 p.m. The next day, Clea's parents reported her missing. The police didn't seem to be too concerned, saying that Clea was 18 and probably out with friends. Clea's parents knew this wasn't true, and as soon as they got home, they made missing person flyers of Clea and hung them around the neighborhood. Shortly thereafter, they noticed the missing persons flyers were taken down. They later found out that Dr. Amos had paid neighborhood kids to take down the flyers. Dr. Amos was initially cooperative with police. He said the reason he had answered Laurel's call on the first ring in the middle of the night was because he was watching the news in the next room. He also changed his story and said he did see Clea leave with a peach soda his wife had given her. 10 days after Clea disappeared, Dr. Amos skipped town for several days. When he returned, he said he was on a business trip, but records would later show he did not conduct any business those days. He lawyered up and refused to talk to the police further. A few weeks after Clea disappeared, her parents, Willie and Laurel, arranged to meet with Dr. Amos's ex-wife at a restaurant to ask if Dr. Amos was capable of hurting Clea. The ex-wife arrived to the restaurant with a photographer outside taking pictures. She explained that Dr. Amos had threatened to kill her because of a child support lawsuit she had filed, and she was in fear for her life. The ex-wife told Clea's parents that Dr. Amos was abusive and would become enraged if certain things were not done in a particular way. She said she did believe Dr. Amos was capable of hurting Clea. When Clea's parents went to the police with the ex-wife's story, cops said that she was just a bitter, battered ex-wife, and they should pay her no mind. In 2012, police executed a new search warrant on Dr. Amos's house. They said the search was due to recent tips they received from handymen who did work on Dr. Amos's house. One said he saw something that looked like blood on infrastructure. Another said he was hired to fill a hole in Dr. Amos's yard, and a terrible odor was coming from the hole. Police brought in cadaver dogs and ground-penetrating radar to the search, but nothing relating to Clea was found.
Here today, that we would get some news. When will this nightmare end?
Clea Shindra Hall remains missing to this day. Dr. Amos still lives in Pine Bluffs, Arkansas, and has not been charged with Clea's disappearance. Number 2, Haley Cummings. In 2009, Haley Cummings was a 5-year-old girl living with her brother, her father, 25-year-old Ronald Cummings, and his 17-year-old girlfriend, Misty Crosland, in a trailer in Satsuma, Florida, a small town of marsh wetlands. On February 9th, Ronald had a night shift, and Misty was left to take care of the children. Misty said she put the kids to bed at 8 p.m. and stayed up to do laundry before going to bed around 10 p.m. Misty said she woke up at 3 a.m. to use the bathroom when she noticed the kitchen light was on. At that point, she noticed the front door was left open and was being held open by a cinder block. Misty went to check on the kids. It was then that she found that Hallie was gone.
I went to sleep, she was there, and then when I woke up, she was gone.
She immediately called Ronald, who rushed home from work, as she called 911.
I just woke up and our back door was wide open and I can't find our daughter.
Can't find what?
Our daughter.
Okay, what's your address?
Green Lane.
Okay, when did you last see her?
We were just like, it was about 10 o'clock. She was sleeping, just cleaning.
Okay, how old is your daughter?
And she's 5.
Okay, what was she last seen wearing? Ma'am?
She was in her pajamas.
Okay, alright. You said your back door was wide open?
Yeah, it was brick. Like a brick on the floor. Like when I went to sleep, the door was not like that. Yes, it's still there. They are.
We got them coming. Tell them we got them coming.
They're coming.
Okay, what's the color of your house, ma'am?
It's blue.
Blue? Okay. Okay, what does she look like? How tall is she? Give me some description of her.
She has like long hair, curly, like curls.
Long, curled, what color?
She's white.
Okay, what color
she's brown hair.
Brown hair?
Yeah.
Tell your husband we got him coming, okay?
Huh?
How much does she weigh?
Like 40, 50 pounds, 60 pounds.
40 to 60 pounds?
Yeah.
Man, I need somebody to get here now.
Okay, let me speak to him so he...
Yeah.
I just got home from work. My 5-year-old daughter is gone. I need
Okay.
somebody to be here now. I'm telling you.
Listen to me. We got 2 officers.
If I find whoever has my daughter before y'all do, I'm killing them. I don't care. I'll spend the rest of my life in prison. I'm telling you, you can put it on record and I don't care.
Okay, it's okay, sir. We got him on the way. Okay, can you give me what kind of description of her pajamas that she was wearing?
I don't fucking know. I got work.
Okay, sir, we got him coming, okay?
Hello?
Okay, sir, let me talk to your wife. So let me get some information from her. Okay. Can I talk to her?
Yeah,
Okay.
How the fuck do you let my daughter go, bitch?
Ma'am?
yeah.
Okay, listen to me. I need you to answer some questions. Does the door look like it was pried open?
Yeah.
Does it look like you had some sort of someone try to enter into your house?
Hold on.
And another thing, make sure you and your husband don't touch the door anymore. Don't mess with the door or anything.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't look like it is?
No.
Okay, now listen, tell your husband do not touch anything. Make sure it's, because we're going to try to get a canine out there. Okay?
She said don't touch anything because they're bringing K9 out here.
What's her date of birth?
I'm gonna fucking kill somebody.
Okay, well, tell them we understand. We need to get her date of birth.
What's her date of birth?
Fucking date of birth is. We need to find her. Fuck her date of birth.
Okay, listen to me. I'm getting this information. I'm not the officer driving out there, okay?
Okay.
They're coming out there to handle that situation. I need to gather all information from you over the phone. It has nothing to do with me driving out there. The officers are taking care of that, okay? They're coming out there, okay?
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to stay on the phone with you, okay?
Okay.
Until they get there. All right, hang on. Tell him we got him coming. He needs to try to calm down a little bit, okay? The officers are going to come out there and do what they can. We can't have him screaming and yelling at the officers whenever they get there, okay?
Got better people to talk to than a fucking motherfucker that ain't coming.
Hundreds of volunteers helped law enforcement search the wetlands for Haley, as Ronald and Misty took to the media to bring attention to the story.
I would love for whatever sorry piece of trash took my child to hand her over to someone who will hand her to proper authorities and she can get back to me, because this is my heart.
I love that little girl like he was my own.
Early on, though, the media started to suspect Misty of something.
As we go to air, girlfriend turned stepmother Misty Crosland, the last person to see Haley alive, disappeared.
On February 18th, police got a tip saying that Misty wasn't even home when Haley vanished. A month after Haley disappeared, Ronald married Misty Crosland. The two had only known each other for 6 months. Misty failed 4 lie detector tests and a voice stress test. Police started to zero in on Misty after they discovered Ronald really was at work, and Misty kept changing her story. In 2010, Misty told police that 2 other people were at the trailer that night, and she had just forgotten to tell the police. She pointed the finger at Joe Overstreet, her cousin, who had a history of violence and an attraction to children.
Reveals a startling theory, allegations. It's more than a theory. It's allegations about what happened that night, that Haley was assaulted, was screaming, then stuffed into a black bag and taken away in the night in a van. What happened?
Nancy Robert Fields is saying for the first time publicly that Misty Crosland has told police from the beginning that Cousin Joe came to the trailer looking for a machine gun, got mad, couldn't find it, grabbed Haley.
Wait. A machine gun. A machine gun?
Yeah,
Before that, it was some other gun. Now it's a machine gun?
Nancy, it's always been a machine gun.
If I find the crack in the story, Crosland's just lying again.
No, Nancy.
Or if the attorney says it, he must believe it.
The attorney says he came there looking for a machine gun that Ronald had showed off a week or so before. It wasn't there. He got mad and grabbed Haley. Misty is frightened after Joe gropes her sexually, roughs her up. She grabs Junior, dives under the covers, is cringing as she hears Haley screaming, and finally lifts her blanket up a little bit to peek out and sees him toss her in a black bag, and then she pulls the covers back, hears the van door outside slam. Tommy Crosland was there at the beginning. She said he looked stunned as Joe went crazy. Now, Joe has denied any involvement, but suddenly Tommy picks up the story and has told his lawyer that he rode down to the river where he sat in the van, he was high on Xanax, and he looked out and saw Joe take Haley to the edge of the dock. But he didn't see him drop her in.
Police searched the river, but nothing was found. In September, police got another tip that Misty was at a house party the night Haley vanished, and she brought Haley along with her. Numerous witnesses who were at the party confirmed that Misty and Haley were there. Some even said Haley accidentally overdosed on substances, and the partygoers panicked and put Haley's body in a pond. In early 2010, Ronald, Misty, and Misty's brother were all arrested in an undercover drug sting.
Don't worry about it. Hey, you wanna hop in?
Baby, get in.
Oh yeah?
Who is that?
Unlock the door. Oh.
I know that somebody. I know that body. Somebody.
Okay. They're all in 10 packs. There's 100. Yep. That should be 10 in each. 2 weeks, whatever. Okay. I'll get it for you, no problem. 2 weeks I can make the money to pay for them and ship myself. Right. Hang on. Hey, do me a favor.
They were all sentenced harshly on the drug charges. Misty got 25 years and Ronald got 15 years. Ronald was released from prison in October of 2022, but was back in jail by Christmas, this time for battery of a police officer and drug trafficking, among other charges. To this day, Haley Cummings remains missing and no one has been charged in her disappearance. Number 1, Christine Kupka. The year was 1998. Christine Kupka was a 28-year-old senior and honors student at Baruch College in New York City on a full academic scholarship. Christine was a strong woman focused on women's rights. After she got her bachelor's degree in philosophy, she planned to go to law school to fight for women's rights. In the spring of 1998, Christine developed a crush on her science teacher, Darshanan Rudy Prasad. Christine gave Rudy her number, and he gave her his beeper number, telling her to call it any time, and he'd call her right back. Christine told her friends Rudy was single and had just broken up with somebody. Because Rudy was Christine's teacher, a romantic relationship was off limits. As soon as Rudy graded Christine's final papers and classes ended, they started going on dates. That summer, though, Rudy went on a business trip to Turkey. Christine also got some surprising news. She was pregnant, Christine had only been intimate with Rudy once, but she hadn't been with any other men, so she was sure that Rudy was the father. Christine was initially scared about her pregnancy, but her fears quickly turned to joy and anticipation of being a mother. When Christine told Rudy the news,
well, when she became pregnant, she didn't know that he was married, but he was married. And when he found out she was pregnant, he begged her to have an abortion and pleaded with her and was desperately, pushing her to have an abortion. When she wouldn't, he actually kind of disappeared off the scene for a little while, and then beginning of October, about 4 days before she disappeared, he said that his wife had found out, his parents found out, he got thrown out of his house, he needed her, to help him, and he wanted to be involved with the baby, and so on.
Still, Christine told friends that her relationship with Rudy was over, and she did not trust him. But she knew if anything happened to her, Rudy would be the prime suspect. She thought he'd be stupid to hurt her. On October 24th, 1998, Rudy arrived at Christine's apartment to pick her up. Christine had agreed to help Rudy clean up his new apartment. Christine left with Rudy in his car, and she was never seen again. She was 5 months pregnant.
At what point after that was she reported missing?
Well, the next day, which was Sunday the 25th, I went to the police. I found out about 10:30 that she had never come home, and I knew immediately that he killed her. Christine had been afraid of him in the past, so it wasn't, he had spent a lot of time. There was a lot of premeditation here, trying to make her trust him and go with him. So I went to the police the next day, and they said they couldn't really do anything to help me.
Christine's loved ones traced Rudy's location down themselves. He was living at his uncle's house. He was living there with his mom and other family members, as well as his wife. The stories Rudy told Christine about being disowned by his family and being kicked out by his wife were all lies. Rudy told cops that he had taken Christine to a mall the day she disappeared, but couldn't remember which mall he had gone to, as he had stayed in the car while Christine shopped. He said he dropped Christine off a few blocks from her home because she had wanted to go to a health food store before returning home. Cops began searching for Christine a week later, but never found anything. The Kupka family hired a private investigator.
Gil, why is this unsolved?
Well, we don't have enough evidence right now. Just like the Chandra Levy case, the evidence is not there, probable cause is not there, but we have a lot of confidence that this case is going to be solved, and hopefully within let's say a year or so. I mean, I don't know how long it takes, but we're very confident that it's going to be solved because we've been doing a lot of work on this case.
But Gil, you say you're very confident. It's been almost 3 years. I must tell you that I don't have a terrific amount of confidence. What gives you this confidence? There's no body. She hasn't been heard from in almost 3 years. No one has been arrested. What gives you this confidence?
Well, I've been working on this case almost every day. I've done other cases similar to this. Kathy and myself probably interviewed close to 800 to 1,000 people. We interviewed everybody in his family. We go out almost every day and try to get as much publicity as possible, just like the publicity is going on here. I kind of agree with the publicity and hope it keeps on going. But I know every intricate part of this case and I have a vision of when it's going to end and how it's going to end. And just like I have somewhat of a vision about this case.
All right, when you talk about a vision, do you have any evidence connecting anyone to any crime? We don't have a body. We don't know if she walked out, although I presumably Kathy would think it's unusual she would just walk off. But do you have any evidence that actually suggests a crime and that somebody did it?
We have no smoking gun, as you say. We do have people calling me all the time. I mean, people call me rather sometimes than they call the police. They'll call me, and close family relatives would tell me what kind of a pattern this particular subject has, which is his name is Rudy Prasad. Now, for myself to focus on one individual, or for the police to, like the D.C. police, to focus on one individual, they're not going to get the peripheral information that they want. So that's really not helping their investigation. That's why they're looking at everything, and I looked at everything, and now my focus is totally on one individual, and I believe that he had help, and I'm after the other second individual also.
Police and family wanted to search an auto parts store owned by Rudy's cousin, but the cousin refused to allow a search. In 2010, Rudy's cousin sold his store, and the new owners allowed a search. Several cadaver dogs were brought in and hit on a spot, alerting to human decomposition. Police dug up the area and found bones, but they turned out to be animal bones. Today, Rudy Persad works as a dentist in Tampa, Florida, where he lives with his wife and children. Christine Kupka remains missing, and her family believes she is no longer alive. No one has been charged in her disappearance.
What's it like to wait?
It's horrible. Every day is horrible because you know, it's always in your mind and you're always stressed about it. And it affects your entire life. It really does. And I know other family members and not only my own, but other people that are missing, I'm very friendly with. And we all have the same feelings. It's like dread, it's hope, it's despair, it's incredible nervousness, depression. It's really horrible. Truly horrible.
Kathy, do you have any hope or expectation that your sister is alive?
No, none. But I know that we're going to find her, and I absolutely know we're going to find her, and I'm really confident about that. I mean, every bone in my body knows that we're going to find her. So, and I know that Rudy's going to finally get what he deserves.
That wraps up today's video on 3 missing persons cases that desperately need to be solved. Cleo Shindra Hall, Haley Cummings, and Christine Kupka all vanished without a trace, and their families are still searching for answers, justice, and closure. If you have any information about these cases, please contact the authorities. Every tip, no matter how small, could make a difference. Let's keep their stories alive and remember to stay aware and look out for each other. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you very soon with another video. Bye.
In the darkness, where secrets hide, there's a corner where the truth resides. Gather round, all you seekers of the night. Welcome to Patrick's Dark Corner, where things come to light. Patrick's Dark Corner, uncovering